Meridian Photography. I just wanted to do a little bit of an update. Today I'm so excited because Adobe did some updates to both Photoshop as well as Lightroom. Now, these are the two programs I'm going to talk about just a little bit today, but most importantly it's Adobe Camera RAW and then the stuff in Lightroom. They did a whole lot of updates with their suite of products and they're amazing all updates. But today I want to just talk a little bit about what has happened with some programs I use. This is Adobe Photoshop. With the update, they updated Adobe Camera RAW, which is amazing. They gave us the same basic engine that is in Lightroom Classic. So what you're looking at here is Adobe Camera RAW, which you can get to in Photoshop by bringing up Adobe Camera RAW. Or as soon as you open up Photoshop and you say, hey, open up this photo, it will go straight into it. Well, here's what's beautiful about this. This is Lightroom Classic. It's definitely different in appearance, but it's the exact same thing. I mean, you've got your basic tab that's right here. You can do all the simple basic, your curves, your details, your color mixtures, everything is in here exactly the way it is in Lightroom Classic. It just has a different interface. What I'm excited about is in the masking, they have this new type of masking, which I'm going to get more into this subject, sky, background masking, and object masking more when I switch over to Lightroom Classic. But this is what I want to really emphasize, really cool. You can actually see the little description as it's running, like it's selecting a napkin, and they're going to go select some eggs. I mean, I love this. This is so cool. But here's what's so really cool about this. Notice down here, it automatically detected a person. If I go ahead and click on this, it will now create the mask, but I now have options right here for all kinds of things. Now I'm going to get in Adobe Camera RAW under Photoshop. What they've done, and this is a huge forecast for what's coming in Adobe Classic, at least I'm hoping it's going to come in Lightroom Classic, is the curves adjustment. In the curves adjustment, they gave you a curves adjustment. I can now use this curves adjustment to start my position with this photo. That is so amazing, and I'm looking forward to them actually adding that into Lightroom. And I'm hoping they're going to do that right in the masking module itself. So I'm hoping that as we turn off the masking module, we have an option. It's going to appear in here. I don't see it appearing right now, but I'm sure it will. So let's get into Adobe Lightroom Classic. I'm so excited. I've got 7 photos here that I'm going to try to go through and do some examples really quick. Here's the fun thing. It's good, but it's not perfect. So before we had different types of selections, but now we actually go straight to it to make your masking so much quicker. So I'm going to go into different ones, and you notice there's a person. The person was selected. It was detected. The AI that Adobe has put into Adobe Camera RAW and Lightroom Classic is just nothing short of amazing. It's not perfect, and that's what I'm going to show you. As a matter of fact, right here you can kind of see it. I'm going to go zoom in here on the subject real quick, and as I hover over, you notice down over her right shoulder there's a little too much hair selected in the automatic detection. And that's one of the problems when it cannot figure out. As a matter of fact, on the whole left side of her hair and even on the right side on the very edges, you can see where the mask actually picked it up. So if we're actually going to select her into white on black, you can see right here and right here where it did not pick up the background. So let me go into image on black, and you can see how poorly the AI actually did. So I'm hoping that in the future they're going to have a refined mask that's going to come in here, and this will help do selections around the hair a whole lot better and a whole lot more faster. So let's go on object selection. So object selection is really cool because I want to pick out a grapefruit and a lemon. This is cool. So I can actually come in here, and let me delete these past ones real quick. I don't want to rename it. I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to do a subject or an object. These are objects, they're not subjects. The subject really would be the plate of food. So I want to do an object. And with this, I've got 2 different ways. Right now I'm in paint mode, and then there is a select mode. So with this paint mode, I'm going to actually pick this grapefruit. I'm going to go over the edges a little bit, but I'm going to make sure that I have the whole thing. And that's what's really cool about it, because now you'll notice, boom, I've got that. And because I left my previous select mode on, image on black, that's why we're seeing that. But here's what's really cool, is now I have just control over that. I can do all the selections that I want. I would do my saturation, my color temperature, exposures, um, you know, and it's really a fast way of doing it. Another way we can do this is we're going to do an object, but we're going to use a selection. So I get these little crosshair selections. This is a little bit harder because this plate's in the way, so I'm going to do my best here. So what's really cool is now you notice there is a marquee for where I'm at, or I can just click on this one and I can come on here. Notice that there's a little diamond over your active mask. So if I come back over here, I'm now there. But notice every single time that I select on the marquee, my object masking is automatically switched. The table's automatically switched, and I'm going to show that. I'm going to take my exposure all the way down on my grapefruit, and then I'm going to pop right back over here to my orange, and then I'm going to take my texture and then I'm going to take my highlights, and I'm going to push those out of this, out of the way here. But that's really cool. I have this ability to independently work with objects selectively, and those marquee tools have now become useful again. And I don't know if you remember a few episodes back with Lightroom Classic, you would use those to actually touch on and then you'd go make your adjustments. But Adobe has been making huge strides to make this so much easier. So let's go into a backdrop. Here's what really blew me away. It picked up the subject right away. And notice with the overlay, I couldn't really tell because of the coloring that I have selected for my overlay. But if I actually select him, here's what's really cool. Notice the face, eyebrows, all this stuff. I'm going to get into this a little bit more in a moment. But I'm going to just say, I want the entire person. Create my mask. Boom, I've got my entire person. Let's make sure I got the entire person. Wow, it did a really good job, except for that hairline again. If we zoom in to that hairline again, we can definitely see where Adobe's kind of missed it with the AI. So again, Adobe, if you're watching this, I really, 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 truly hope that you do a refined mask like you've got in Photoshop. That would be amazing. But here's what's really cool about this is it just picked it up, that person, really, really quickly. And I loved it. Say I want to create a different mask, but I'm going to do this with a select background instead. I just click on select background, and it automatically does it. Now, in the pre-man, and I used to just grab the person, create a mask, and then with this mask, I needed the background. I've got a select background now, but I didn't have one before, so I would literally say duplicate and invert back, or invert mask, and now I have the entire background to work with, and I can do whatever I want with it. And you notice here again, we need that refined hair edge, that refined mask for the hair edge here. But this is what I love about this whole new thing. I can literally say, I want the background, and it'll do the same thing in 2 clicks instead of, multiple clicks. So let's move on. This is a really bright background, and I love how it actually figured it out. It detected the person right away, and as I hover over him, it's amazing. Here's what's really cool. I can actually say, I want the facial skin. It found its beard. It found the guy's beard. Let's do a create mask on just the skin on his face. That is wild. Look how just really good it did. It sort of kind of missed the ear, I think. Oh no, it picked up the ear. It picked up the ear pretty well, actually. So it looked a little confusing from the type of layering that I have. It missed going up into his hairline and up into his part, but that's still okay. I mean, like, I can literally go ahead and do a softened skin really quickly, and boom, I'm done and over with it. He looks like an instant model. Really awesome. Here's what I love. How many times have we got multiple people in the photo? AI is working in the background and already found all 8 people, which is really cool because I want to work with this guy over on the right side. Notice again, we got a problem with detection, subtract it out a little bit more if we want. But here's what's so great. One of the toughest in working with your camera is to get the exposure perfectly right when you have different skin complexions. And with that, I mean, the photographer here on this did a great job. So I don't really have to worry so much about this. But normally I would have to come in to the face skin and the body skin, and I'd have to create the mask on both of these, and then I would actually have to, I've got a preset here where I bump up the exposures a little bit just so I can have him stand out a little bit. And I'm going to like push the slider for the amount so you can see just that I'm affecting just his skin. I love this because I have shot a lot of weddings where one or the other is a darker skin color or a fair complexion, and I've got to do a lot of editing, and this made it really simple for me to go ahead and find the mask or find the person really quickly, and then find the body parts that are affected, and I need to move into it really quick. So again, multiple people easily detected by the AI in Adobe Lightroom Classic. We've got this background. I love this background, stone background. Sometimes we want to change the color of the background, and it picks it up really quickly, and we can make some changes to that background. We can give it a different color, different hue. Now, again, this is where I really can't wait for Adobe to drop in that whole ability for us to use the curve adjustment. If we had the curve adjustment in Lightroom, this is the ideal place for it to land. I don't know where they would put it in this mask, but oh my gosh, what a great job it would be to be able to adjust the white and black points and then do a deeper colorization. I would love for them to take the HSL and colors of the hue, saturation, and luminance and put that also on masks, because there are times where I really want to adjust it in finer detail, and then I have to bring it into Photoshop. Not a lot of fun. Okay, last cool thing I just shot just recently, and you noticed she was doing a Dia de los Muertos theme. We had a fun time shooting out in the flower fields of Carlsbad here in San Diego. But here's where it kind of falls short. It sees the person, no problem. Okay, like let me zoom out here and I'll show you. It found the entire edge of the person, including the the barbs out of her head. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. Picked up her neck, picked up her sweater, picked up some of her hairdressing. Everything was amazing. Here's where it fails. Click on facial skin. This is a full makeup. Now I'm wondering how poorly it might do. I need to get a model that has a lot of covering on to see if it'll do the same thing. But when we zoom in, okay, clearly it found the eyebrows, so it didn't pick them. It did almost as good of a job with the eyes, but still it missed a lot of the face. So in this, I would actually say body or face and body skin, and I want to create a mask with that. Now it missed it a little bit, so I'm going to say add, I'm going to do brush, I'm going to come in here with the brush, and I'm going to finish this off. The reason why I want to finish this off is I'll show you exactly why. This is a lot of caked on makeup, and with all of this caked on makeup, I need to not see the makeup. I want to see the face, I want to see the art of this. So I'm going to go into soften skin light, and boom, now it looks amazing. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of what that would look like. And as it loads that in, you can see clearly how well it did with just getting rid of the deformities and giving it more of a better, gentler texture. Now what's really interesting is, you see all the hair in this previous one? Here's what's really interesting. I told it to delete all the masks. I just saw this for the first time, so you're seeing it at the same time I'm seeing it. It made a mistake, so I'm going to say reset, so I can have those. We have an AI brush for content aware remove. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here, and I'm going to show you just how good this is. This is a makeup, and it looks at everything on this hair, and I'm going to just do some crazy configurations with this, and you're going to be amazed at just how good it works. Look how amazing that works. Now it looks even better because you can kind of still see the lines here, but when I do that skin softening application beforehand, it works even better. Well, what about this one down here over the eye? I was curious about this too, but I'm only going to go to where it contrasts. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. What about going through the makeup? Going through the makeup, kind of a similar result. You're going to get a little line tracing through the painted on makeup, but it's not very distinguishable. Same thing here. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I am pretty happy with the before and after on this that I can get rid of. And I can always come in with a mask. I can take a brush and I can always pick a brush and I can literally come in here and I can darken this up a little bit, and then I'm a lot happier. So guys, I'm really hoping that you're going to be enjoying these new updates from Adobe, and come by and check me out at williamberdingphotography.myportfolio.com. I do a lot of weddings, I do a lot of corporate events, I shoot a lot of amazing speakers in that I've done. I've shot a gentleman here that was running for governor of California. I shot Tucker Carlson just recently, Candace Owens. Like, I'm not name dropping, but I mean, I love doing I love doing portrait shoots. I love doing just fun stuff. Like, I get paid for my weddings and events, and I love doing that. I do corporate events all the time, and I love doing the corporate events, especially where I get to interact with some amazing people. God rest his soul, Coolio. I just recently was able to shoot him, and that was amazing. I didn't kill him, but anyway, poor taste of joke. I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming in and visiting with me today and being able to truly enjoy seeing the new updates with Adobe and how it'll work. I'll talk to you guys later.